Hello everybody, I'm going to skip my intro for today because this will be a brief video explaining something that I feel like is important for me to come out with openly before something else, before it can come out in other ways. So some of you probably know that I had, because of my history, because of how my childhood went, I developed very extremist views for a while, not now. My mother did leave my dad for a woman, and I externalized basically the blame for how the rest of my childhood went on that event, because prior to that my childhood was more or less normal to my knowledge. Pretty sure that's when me and my sister got molested, so kind of questionable, but that's how I justified it as a kid. And for a long time I was involved in groups that were rather unsavory, and most people would agree with that. I have no defense of the groups I was in, and I do not try to use the fact that my trauma contributed to that as an excuse. It was my way of coping then. And if you ever see me ignore actively political movements, or not making statements on it, or not actively crucifying people who are involved in extremist organizations, well, okay, when I say extremist organizations, I mean just unsavory political movements, it's because I recognize that that can be colored by trauma. I don't want to disinclude people. One of my best friends nowadays, the one that I made the video about in terms of how to deal with somebody like me, is the only reason that we're still friends is because they saw past the fact that I had those beliefs and recognized that it was from a certain degree of trauma. And I don't want to and if somebody heals from their trauma and they still hold those beliefs, whatever. That can be a different story. But I was very unsavory when I was younger. And I don't want to deny that. I don't want to lack ownership for that. If my beliefs back then were implemented, a lot of people would have been hurt. And probably worse than that. It was to the point that there was a forum that was about neo-fascism and neo-Nazism, that when its contents got leaked, I was worried I was going to be on it. And if that were the case, and I were to be canceled over that, it would have been fair. I said some fucking disgusting shit. I believed in some disgusting shit. And nowadays, I try to stay as politically neutral as possible, because I know how my shit can manifest in terms of being very polarized because of not only I don't want to externalize this to my trauma or my disorder, but I want to make it clear I disavow all of that. And and this is going to seem very performative, but I dug up an old book that I had during that time. I dropped it. And this is the kind of person I was. Every single page of this is going to be going in the trash. The fact that I still had it nowadays, I don't even know why. I have a lot of regrets, People ask me what the worst thing I did when I was when I was unaware and shit. I mean, that was a big part of it. I hope people can forgive me for the kind of person I used to be, and trust that I have healed since then. But, yeah. I might delete this later, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how many subscribers I lose off of this.